What's going on, guys? You guys are tuning into the Night Crew podcast. This podcast is dedicated for those that thrive at night and want to transform the world. And if it's the thought of you guys waking up at 5 a.m., physically it makes you sick, this podcast is for you. Let's go!
The nights are dark and full of terrors. But this is where we belong. When the streets are empty and the city sleeps, we keep watch, we keep moving, we keep the lights on. Welcome to the Night Crew. Where the world slows down, but the stories never stop. Stay sharp, stay ready, and ride with us till dawn. The stories never stop. Stay sharp, stay ready, and ride with us till dawn. Where the world slows down, but the stories never stop. Stay sharp, stay ready.
What's going on, guys? You guys are tuning into the Night Crew podcast. Wow, but a lot of emphasis in that one, right? Today, a lot of emphasis in that one. And the reason why I'm so excited and so pumped up, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got my hands on one of these. It's the Ghost Peaches. And this is my first time trying it out. And I bought several of them. And I wanted to wait for this podcast before I decided. And it was so hard. It was so tempting. Every time I looked at it, just kept calling my name and said, come on, Eric, try the peaches. We're going to try the peaches. Oh. It's the pull for me. Absolutely, yes. Now, this is going to contain the same amount of caffeine, 200 milligrams of caffeine. This actually tastes great. And this is why I love Ghost so much, is because all their flavors are good tasting, and they don't taste like bangs, where they taste like medicine sometimes. It's very, very good tasting energy drink. And I'm now that I've opened it and I've revealed it with you guys, now I can continue to buy these and drink them regularly. Yeah. All right. And today we're on episode 8. Sergeant Squeeze! Bad training meets excessive force. Now, there's been a viral video that's had over 100,000 views. And it's a police officer in Kansas City. And the unique part about it is he wasn't just a police officer. He was a sergeant. As I'm looking at his straps, his stripes, he's got 3 stripes. He's a sergeant. And I don't know why they're not hyping it up. He's a sergeant. He should know. He's experienced. Whatever. But they continue to identify him as just an officer and not identify him by his rank. Whatever, dude. I don't care. But I would be upset. I'm like, you guys are going to talk about me? Put some substance on there. Just say, hey, Sergeant Squeeze acted out of the scope of his job. Maybe did a little bit too much. Excessive. Whatever. But please put some passion on his title. All right, guys. So some officers rely on training. Okay, others rely on brute strength. And sometimes when bad training meets excessive force, you get cases like this. When an officer squeezes harder instead of smarter, turning what should have been a controlled takedown into a viral controversy. Like I said, a Kansas City a police officer who was actually off duty, uniformed, tried to restrain a suspect inside of a grocery store. The suspect refused to leave and alleged he had a firearm It was alleged that he had a firearm, and things got physical pretty fast. Okay, as the video I've showed, it's on online, and I'm going to show it again. Um, but instead of applying the right restraint technique, the officer locked the man in, I would like to call it a crushing headlock, squeezing the fun out of it, squeezing so hard that this guy, Sergeant, almost rips his shirt. I'm looking at it, I'm like just waiting for it to tear at the seam. I was feeling like a little Hulk Hogan in him. You don't take the shirt off. I don't know. And people are comparing this situation, this case, to George Floyd. I think I've mentioned George Floyd almost on every single podcast because everything that I've been talking about has all been tied and related to George Floyd. I'm tired of George Floyd. Sick of him. But the reaction was not the same. Okay? I mean, people are not rioting right now. People are not breaking and busting and burning down businesses.
More than that. It's hotter.
You know, they're talking about it, it's little here and there, but I don't see anybody out there in the middle of the damn street. I don't see any police cars getting burned up. And we wonder why that is. Why is no one really reacting the way we expect Black America to act? I hate to say it, God dang it. Don't kill me for this one. But it's true. And the reason why we're not getting that same vibe and that same hype, outrage, violence, is because the police officer was not white. Okay? And I hate to make this a race thing, but I'm calling it what it is. Now, I want to break down to you guys what really happened, okay? And why we're calling him Sergeant Squeeze, because I don't know his name, failed his own training. And what it means for anyone working in security or law enforcement. Now, the incident was pure out of brute strength and replaced proper technique. Okay, the suspect had already been banned from the store, okay, for past shoplifting and allegedly bringing a gun inside. This time, the suspect comes back in, and after refusing to leave, he reportedly retrieved a firearm from his car before returning into the store. An off-duty police officer, Sergeant Squeeze, warned him that he was under arrest. Now, you know, we're going to go back to George Floyd. After George Floyd, camera phones became a thing. Everyone's out there shooting. Cameras, lights, action, go! And it's making it harder for police officers to do their job. One simple traffic stop turns into, I don't know why you're pulling me over. I don't know. I don't think I was doing 65. And people want to be attorneys now. Now everybody knows the law. Everyone knows their rights. And in this occasion, this incident was no different. This guy, instead of just taking it like a man and helping this off-duty sergeant Squeeze, helping him out a little bit. I mean, come on, black police officer, black man. Maybe a little, all right, man, I'll come talk to you. Show a little love, a little respect for his job and his positioning. Instead, he hands the phone over and says, I want you to record everything. I want Sergeant Squeeze to squeeze the fun out of me. That's what I was getting. And
Stop choking me, bro. I already took my gun to the ground. What are you doing this for? I can't breathe, bro. Start the system. Bro, stay behind my back. You stop choking me. Please.
Put your hands behind your back. He got him back there. He got him back there. He got his hands behind his back.
I can't fucking breathe. This is the second.
He got his hands behind his back.
This is the second time, bro.
And instead of using what police call a lateral vascular neck restraint, which we call the LVNR, it's designed to cut off blood flow and quickly seduce the subject, right? And but the officer, Mr. Squeeze, decided to apply a headlock and show improper technique. Now, I don't like to use the term LVNR. Okay, I get it. It's a police officer training tactic, and that's what they use. It's a hold, but it's a damn
Bare naked choke.
Okay, it's a damn
Bare naked
choke, and I'm saying that because I do jujitsu, and anyone that knows jujitsu would see this. This is improper technique. And, you know, now we want to know, okay, where's the problem lying in this guy, right? The police officer, Sergeant Squeeze, got him on the ground and was able to put him in handcuffs. But it was very, very ugly how he did it. And I don't think that we would have gotten the same reaction had he done it properly. Now, a headlock is not a restraint, okay? It's something you see on WWE.
That's an STF. John Cena just locked in an STF. Chris Masters can't believe it.
I think the master.
He tapped. Chris Masters tapped out to the...
It's more of a pain move. And it doesn't put the subject to sleep. It just hurts. It's like a neck crank. More so. We call it in jiu-jitsu, we call them neck cranks. We call them jawbreakers. And in this occasion, I don't know what it was. That's exactly what it was. It was more of like a headlock style. And the reason why I believe that it was a headlock, because you can hear the subject. He was still talking.
Please.
Put your hands behind your back. He got him back there. He got him back there. He got his hands behind his back.
I can't fucking breathe. This is the second.
He got his hands behind his back.
This is the second time, bro.
Just lock him up.
And he was saying, I can't breathe. This guy was having a full conversation with Officer Squeeze. And Squeeze is just like, he's just, I don't, come on, Squeeze. I mean, blood vessels was coming out of his neck. And I want to show you guys a proper technique. For those that don't know, that are unfamiliar with this hold, and why this video ended up viral was not so much of the incident of the choke, it was how it was performed. Okay, now I'm gonna use this guy here. This is Officer Strong. He's gonna be my dummy today. Okay, so typically you get around someone, you have their neck. Okay, I got my bicep right here near his carotid artery. I grab my hand like I'm getting ready to say pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And I'm going to put my hand right on the back of his head. And I'm going to put my face a little bit closer. and I'm gonna whisper in his ear, "It's okay. Please stop resisting. Shh, go to sleep, baby. Get out of here." And if the officer had executed the proper technique, okay, the suspect would have been unconscious, okay, in seconds. And the struggle would have been minimal. It was too much stuff going on. I get it. It was only 30 seconds, but 30 seconds is too long. And I don't believe this video would have went viral. And I don't believe they would have compared it to George Floyd. Instead, bad training meets excessive force, and the optics made this look worse than what it was. People saw a black man being choked and immediately thought of George Floyd. Okay? I can't breathe, la la la. I'm still talking now. I can't breathe. I'm still talking, la 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 la. If I would have done that to that guy, put him in the proper hold, he wouldn't be talking. No talkie. He would have been asleep. Been saying his prayers. But the fact that the officer was black changed. I'm gonna say I believe it changed the narrative in this case. And there was no, like I said, there was no racial outcry. Nobody's out there crying. There's no one saying, oh my God, my son. And now the officer, Sergeant Squeeze, is under investigation. Not for arresting the suspect, but how he did it. And the type of scrutiny he's under right now. Because if you look at it, anybody else that would have done this, that officer would have lost his job and maybe gotten arrested, because that's what the public wants. Otherwise, hell no, we won't go. Hell no.
Black Lives Matter.
Protests, burning buildings, outcry, rage. Not this time. And why? I want to tell you guys, this is okay. And you guys are gonna ask, how does this relate to private security, Eric, Mr. Nightwatch? And for those that work in private security, I believe this is a perfect example, okay, of why force needs to be controlled and strategic. If a security guard had have done this, do you think that he would have been arrested for excessive force? If the subject had been injured, would the security officer be protected? Or would he be facing, or the company be facing lawsuits? If force was needed, how do you control a suspect without becoming the next viral video? Those are very important questions to ask your team, ask yourself, as this could be any one of us working in the private sector. Okay? I see too many security guards out there doing things out of the scope of their job, stuff that they've seen on YouTube, and they want to apply it to their job. And when they apply these techniques to their job, it ultimately fails. They look stupid. I end up talking about them. They go viral. Well, they go, not because I'm talking about them, but they go viral. And people talk about them, and then it drives our industry even deeper into the ground. Okay? And what law enforcement does, okay? What law enforcement fails at, security gets it too. I don't know why. We're just rent-a-cops, Craig Day-Day, whatever you guys want to call us. But every time that something happens, the public perception changes, not just for law enforcement, but for security as well. And some of the key takeaways here is paying compliance isn't as, I've come to find out, and you guys can all agree with me, that paying compliance isn't as effective as proper control techniques. Okay? I've competed in jiu-jitsu. I've done jiu-jitsu for the last I don't know, 12, 15 years. And let me tell you guys this, that that I've been put in chokeholds, neck cranks, jawbreakers, and yes, my breathing is slightly constricted, but I can still talk. I can still breathe. I might grunt a little bit because that crap hurts. You imagine someone's forearm digging into your neck. Forearm right here. Yeah, forearm. Digging into your neck. It hurts. It sucks. It's uncomfortable. Makes you want to cry. But if you use force, the public is going to judge not by you using force, but by how it looks. That's why I always tell security guards, or people that don't like me that still happen to listen to me anyway, you cannot be out there throwing blows and throwing punches with people. It's not about what you think is right and what you think you should do. It's about the public perception and how people will view you after the fact. Not you're trying to protect yourself because you were afraid of your life. No, they don't care. What they care about is what they see. And when they see a security guard punching somebody, going in a full-out brawl, that is what gets viral. That's what gets on the internet. Not that the fact that security guard had a confrontation with someone, but because the security guard was out there throwing blows, and not only was the security guard throwing blows, but he did improper technique. What are you doing? Stop. And I tell you guys to train your people, and if you guys are, or if you guys are just listening to this, it's important to have proper training on various techniques, because we have to remember, guys, we do not have the same legal safety net. We don't. And that should hit home. That should hit home for some of you guys. And if it doesn't, then we'll have to just wait for your guard or yourself to make one of those little bad moves. And the bigger issue in all of this is race, force, and public perception. Okay. This isn't just about a bad takedown or a bad technique. This is about how force is judged in court of a public opinion. Okay. Had this been a white officer and a black suspect, there'd be protests going on right now. 3 o'clock in the morning saying, hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Hey, there's a car, burn it. And it's not even the black people burning cars. It's everybody else. And if this technique was improper, does it matter if the officer was black? It's a very, very valid question. If the technique was improper, does it matter that the officer was black? And do you guys think that people are more forgiving when race isn't a part of the controversy? I'm just, I stumbled across this video just because it just happened to land on my feed. But it wasn't something where it cried outrage, where it was all over the news. This is just something I had just happened to pick up that just happened to be on the internet. And now it's gone viral. And now people are pissed off. Now people are talking about it. Now people have opinions. And you know, a lot of these are hard questions. You know, law enforcement, security professionals need to think about when they're faced with these issues. You know, is it in the best interest? And I know a lot of things that happen are just so quick to where that we don't even think about it. We just do. We just do based off what we're trained or not trained to do. We do what we see on TV, on YouTube, watching UFC. What are you doing? Stop. And you know, my final thoughts on this, guys, is that this isn't about just one officer using too much strength. Okay, I don't want you guys to think that this guy just, you know, this big old buff police officer is just just strength. It's about the importance of proper training. You know, and the dangers of the bad optics and how public perception can override the facts. I know. So we're all missing the point here. The suspect has been caught shoplifting at that location, threatened the staff with a firearm. The staff sees him back in the store and ask him to leave. He says, I'm not going to go nowhere. I'm going to go grab my dumpy. I'm going to go to my car. I'm going to bring it back. A little thumper. He threatened them with great bodily harm. He threatened them with a firearm. But yet, the officer's improper technique overrides the suspect's behavior. Go figure. It pisses me off. Gosh dang it. And I believe if this officer had used correct technique, okay, we wouldn't be talking about this. I wouldn't be on a podcast right now talking about this. Instead, I believe that he overpowered instead of outmaneuvered. And now it's become a national debate. Okay. And if you guys don't recall, most of the, I think if not all, police agencies went through a reform. And most of everybody had to go through excessive force training, use of force. Okay, even security, appropriate use of force. Thank you, Allied.